God, I love that opening. Hola amigos, what is up and welcome to something slightly different. It's called math. It's called Mega Man X4. Yep, I did Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, and it's weird that they just skipped to Mega Man X4. It's really crazy. Okay, I'm playing this game, well, partly because I really just love this game. I mean, look at this 90s anime intro. It's so 90s as hell. I love it. But also because I don't like X3 very much. And also because I've been going through a bunch of playthroughs of this game recently, because I just wanted to see everything. Everything! So, I figured, may as well do a playthrough for a Let's Play. Now, Mega Man X4 is the first Mega Man X game for the second Mega Man X game for the PlayStation, but the first to be built from the ground up for it. It's also the first, and I believe the only Mega Man X game to be released on the Sega Saturn as well. But regardless, this was the first game built primarily for 32-bit systems, and it's going to show a lot in the presentation of this game compared to the previous Super Nintendo ones. So of course we've got our cast of characters here. Spooky. Gosh, look at that background. Some great sprite art there. Alright, first things first. I want dash to be on this button. And that's about it. Okay, so let's actually start the game. So the first major difference is that we actually have a choice of playable character. You can either play through the game as X, or you can play through as Zero. Later games allow you to switch between X and Zero sort of on the fly, but in this game you go through the story of each one individually. And they do actually have different abilities and story beats as well. You also might notice this sprite work is rad as hell, just saying. Just saying, this looks real good. I love it. X is focused more on long-range combat and the typical Mega Man X experience, while Zero is focused more on melee combat and uses his saber instead of a buster. For the sake of this playthrough, we'll be playing as X, but I will be doing a Zero playthrough at some point as well.
It's about the Maverick Hunters, General. They are far too eager to please the humans and continue to hunt down the Reploids. Do you believe they pose a significant threat?
Perhaps.
You already know the truth, General. Their sole mission has been to destroy any Reploids who fail to do as the humans order. It's in your best interest to stop them now, before they turn on you. You possess enough power to destroy them!
Dismissed.
What?
I will not betray the humans. Remove yourself from my sight. My business with you has concluded.
Very well. But you will change your mind soon, I assure you.
That's right, baby. We got low-end 90s voice acting. Hell yeah. Mega Man X4 came out around the same time as Mega Man X8, or not X8, Mega Man 8. And therefore they have a lot of the same voice actors doing voices for both games. Needless to say, Capcom did not have very good voice acting back then. The Mavericks occupied the Sky Lagoon using the most advanced weapons available. The army appears to be the Repliforce. Roger that, I'm on my way now. Want to know a great example of the game's voice acting? X has a high-pitched voice. Alright. But I guess that's appropriate. That means I can voice him at least. Because my voice sounds like a fucking toddler most of the time. Alright, we got a boss here, but we can actually ignore this mid-boss fight. All we have to do is get over to this fourth door here and blast it open. If you've played a Mega Man X game before, then you've played Mega Man X4. The gameplay is pretty much the same as you would expect. You jump, you shoot, you dash, but there are a few little twists here and there to keep things fresh and exciting. But regardless, let's get ourselves another cutscene. You're Dragoon from the 14th unit. This isn't good, X. That Maverick just destroyed the power reactor. What? Then the Sky Lagoon will come crashing into the ground. It's too late, X. It's time I made my escape. I suggest you do the same. Don't do anything reckless on the way out, okay? The city below will soon become a sea of flames. Many people will perish. I have no choice but to escape from here and head to the city below. And now we're on the city below, which, does not look great. What? The city has been completely destroyed. They were innocent people. I won't forget this. Alright, so one of the new things in Mega Man X4 is each stage is actually separated into two halves. This is something that I think only X4 actually does. And basically, each half actually acts as a checkpoint as well, even if you game over. The later games are still more generous with their game over checkpointing, but this is the first game to do that. It's not the most necessary thing on the planet, but it does take a lot of frustration away from the game, which is nice. In fact, X4 is honestly probably one of the easier games of the series to beat. Well, the final boss of this game is a butt. I'll say that. Alright, we walk forward and it's a trap! Not just any trap, it's our patented Mega Man X opening stage escape sequence. Hell yeah. But now, let's get to the actual boss of the stage, which is the thing we saw previously anyway. This thing is called Eregion, or Aragon. It's a classic book. This boss fight isn't necessarily particularly bad to fight or anything like that. It's honestly a pretty easy boss fight. I say as I get hit a bunch. All you really need to do is just pelt it with charge shots. 10 charge shots bring this guy down. And again, another part of the Mega Man X, the intro boss is so intimidating looking, but it ends up being a giant joke. Who are you? I'm the Colonel of the Repliforce. Has the Repliforce been occupying this area? What are you talking about? I only came to save my sister. The army responsible for all the violence in this region is not the Repliforce. Nevertheless, I want you to disarm and follow me back to the HQ. Never! You're asking my soldiers to drop their weapons? The only time we drop our weapons is when we aren't able to fight any longer. But you'll be regarded as a maverick and treated as such. Do as you will. The Repliforce would sooner fight and die than discard our pride. Consider us mavericks if this is what you wish. Wait! Calm down, Colonel! He can't. He's literally not able to chill. X. What the? Something's got to give. Otherwise, the entire Repliforce will be considered to be mavericks. Alright, that's the intro stage finished. Save over the practice file.
Brave soldiers of Repliforce, we have all been wrongfully judged as mavericks by the humans. We cannot suffer this indignity and live in disgrace. We will build our own nation of Reploids. But remember, this is neither about insurrection nor rebellion against our human creators. This is about our liberty and security. We must battle for our own individual rights and our own survival. Together we will build our nation, a sanctuary for all Reploids, our own utopia. Let us forge onward towards a new golden era for the Repliforce.
I too share the general sentiment. Take heed, we have no other choice. Let us fight valiantly, with courage and pride, without fear, for we are the Repliforce.
The most powerful army in history!
The General has finally taken action. And now, my Maverick Hunters, what will you do? I'll be watching closely from here on out.
Spooky. Alright, we're at Maverick Hunter HQ, and we're introduced to the big boy. Who are you? Call me Double, the rookie hunter. But if you call me Double Chin, I'll whoop your ass. My liege, the Rebel Force has begun its coup. Wait, Colonel, you're jumping to conclusions here. Sir, you've been given the order to scramble. Much like eggs. Delicious eggs. Tasty. The jungle. Infiltrate enemy-occupied jungle and destroy the weapon under construction. Cyberspace. A bug has corrupted the network. Dive into cyberspace and exterminate it. Air Force. The Repliforce ship has taken off. Pursue and blast it out of the air. Volcano. Dragoon of the 14th Unit is a traitor. Locate and bring him back to Hunter HQ. Marine Base. Repliforce decimated the city and left. Pursue them aboard a land chaser. The Biolaboratory, or kinda looks like it says Bid Laboratory in the thumbnail there. The abandoned lab is now operational. Investigate and destroy the lab. A military train is moving supplies. Cut off Repliforce's supply route. And the snow base. We've discovered a hidden snow base. Halt production of their new weapon. Alright, so normally you might be thinking, it's a Mega Man X game, you gotta fight the ice boss first, right? Rice? We're gonna fight the rice boss? No. I refuse. We're going to the jungle. Why? For a couple of reasons. Partly to fight this spider with a nice hat. God, I love the frickin' intro music. You know what else I love? This sprite work. Look at how frickin' beautiful this is. This was the game that really showed what the PlayStation was capable of in comparison to the Super Nintendo for the Mega Man X series. And it definitely looks really good. Graphically this game is terrific, and musically this game is also really good as well. First Mega Man X game to use CD quality audio, if we just conveniently forget the port of X3. And it also has capsules. This battle should never have happened, X. Why must Reploids fight each other? Why do these peacekeepers persist in fighting each other? This must be some sort of mistake. Look, if you're expecting me to not do the Mega Man 8 voice for Dr. Light in this game, you're wrong. You have to do it. X. Enter this capsule. Equip with this to discover the truth. Equip with this boot module. And jump twice in the air to hover. You can move either left or right, and will remain airborne for a few moments. It is effective for negotiating through higher and more dangerous terrain. Stop this tragic war as soon as possible, X. God, I love the Mega Man 8 voice acting too. It's great. Alright. So as said before, we have the ability to hover in the air. Notably, if you move back or forth during the hovering, the duration is much shorter in comparison to when you just let it rock. What Dr. Light didn't tell us, however, is that we can air dash as well. The air dash is very useful, and it's one reason why I like to go to Web Spider stage first, just to kind of get it. That and the fact that it's probably the easiest capsule in the game to get, as long as you're diligent about running into walls, or lack thereof. Fishman, roly-poly fishman. It's like Manly Fish and Manly Fish's brother from Earthbound. And here's some falling logs. It always reminded me of Jungle Zone from Sonic on the Game Gear. Doot doo doo doot doot doo 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 doo. Let's not miss this jump or I'll die. Doot 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 doo doo. Sonic 1 on the Game Gear was actually a pretty darn good game. I played a lot of it as a kid. Maybe one day I'll replay it again and maybe even do an LP of it. It's a good game, but it's kind of a hard game too as well. I've never 100%ed it, but to be fair, I've very rarely 100%ed Sonic games. I'm just really bad at special stages most of the time. Alright, see this door? Shoot it open like Contra, and we go into the second half. We go to Act 2. It's just like a Sonic game. My favorite, Sonic X, which actually is the name of a television show that Sonic had. Way back on the Fox Box. Yeah, you guys remember the Fox Box? Fox's Saturday morning cartoon thing that got rid of Fox Kids. God, that was a trip. That was so weird because there was like a variety of different stuff on it. It had the Kirby anime, which I think is one of 4Kids' better anime dubs out there. It had Ultimate Muscle, so Kinnikuman. Man. It had Fighting Foodons. And it had a version of Ultraman. I can't remember which Ultraman it was. I think it was Ultraman Tiga, whatever. But knowing me, having not watched any Ultraman other than the 4Kids show, I don't know. Either way, let's navigate through these spiders. Ew, icky spiders. That's right, X. The ickiest of spiders. I'll just air dash over these spiders. Bees. Bees and spiders together at last. Okay, something shot me. Oh well. We take that, we take those and move on. Let's move on to the boss fight. And here we go. You've labeled us all as Mavericks. I won't let you pass. Turn back now. But he doesn't even give us an opportunity to turn back. Web Spider is one of the easier bosses of Mega Man X4, but it's very much possible to get cocky and take like stray hits that you don't really need to. Be careful when dodging his web attacks here, they are homing. But thankfully, I learned about web safety, so... good. He also makes some sounds. A lot of the Maverick boss's sounds are actually cut out of like the PlayStation version. Like they used to have, a lot of them have banter in the Japanese version. Oh. Like, they'd say things before the boss fight starts, and some bosses still do that, but that's only the bosses that were dubbed to English. The Mavericks also had things to say as well, but, guess that doesn't matter. More spiders. This is more spiders than I expected. But not more spiders than I expected. There we go. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because we can get his weapon. And Web Spider's weapon is one of the better ones in the game, not for damage output, but rather for platforming. You got Lightning Web! Fires a spider net charged with electricity, can be used to attack, wall jump, or double jump. The lightning web shoots out a web that's a solid object once it settles down, and you can indeed jump off of it. It's very useful for platforming, and I'll be making use of it in this next stage too. So let's go to the snow base. I love how excited he is for Frost Walrus. Alright. And right off the bat, we actually see a boss from a previous game. This right here is the frozen corpse of Blizzard Buffalo. And this actually does become something in the Mega Man X manga series as well. In the 1990s, I think it was Yoshihiro Iwamoto? It sounds correct. But he did a Mega Man X manga series, and in one of the chapters, Frost Walrus actually kills Blizzard Buffalo and freezes his corpse to use it like an ice sculpture and stuff. Which sucks, because I like Blizzard Buffalo. Anyway, I'm not doing the proper stage. Instead, I'm going to show off the lightning web and how cool it is. You guys want to learn about the World Wide Web? Well, how about using that? Up here is basically a secret area that is useful for getting some health, getting some 1-ups, and all of that health will also come in handy once we get our first sub-tank. Now there is something else I will be using the lightning web to grab too, and it's pretty close actually. Oop. Come on. Make these jumps, Mega Man! Make these jumps, Mega Man! You can do it! I believe in you! We did it. Alright, see that up there? This is the EX tank. The EX tank is different from the sub-tank and the weapon tank that we'll get later on. The EX tank actually has lives in it. If you have the EX tank active as an item, you will actually start each stage with 5 lives, rather than just the 3 that you normally start with. It's not like the most important item out there, but it's still good to have. Oh my god, these snowmen. I want more health. I want more health going into this next section. I want these guys to drop some health. Yeah, there we go. One more? Please, one more? Sir, may I have some more health? Oh, you are lovely. You are beautiful and wonderful and kind, and let's go through the reverse Tetris shaft in order to reach the first mid-boss. I believe this thing is called Izard? Oh, and there's Joe Penguin there, too. I forget if Chill Penguin is in the Mega Man X manga as one of Frost Walrus's victims. I love when like things do crazy adaptations of the source material. Like Pokemon Adventures is a good example of that. Did anyone read Pokemon Adventures or Pokemon Special as a kid? Because that series took, like, quite a few liberties with, Pokemon Red and Blue. Made them a little bit darker than they really needed to be, but it was cool. It was a 90s thing. But Pokemon Special is also still ongoing as well. Do not like how Izard is fighting here. I'm actually gonna wait and wait for him to get airborne before I shoot my shot. to make it a little bit easier to dodge his claw attack. Like that. There we go. If he's a little bit higher up, then it's easier to dodge it at. Because you can just dodge it by dashing. Come on, Izard. Cooperate this time. Damn it.
Ready!
Not cool. Man, I was doing so well in practice, too. Big thing about this fight is it just takes a while. Especially when you don't have any weapons. So it's just like, oh, just wait for the opportunity to charge shot him. Just do this a bunch of times. And he does that sometimes too. Come on. Float over here. Let's do the fist. Fist rock bone. Oop, come on. Come on. Let's talk about a little bit more about Pokemon Special too. Like, Pokemon Special had some dark stuff to it. Like, Team Rocket was more evil than they were in the games, and they were already pretty evil in the games. A few gym leaders in the game also worked for Team Rocket as well and had villainous roles. I think Sabrina, Koga, and Lieutenant Surge were all members of Team Rocket in Pokemon Special. And there was, like, the kind of violence and, like, almost gore that you wouldn't even expect from, like, something kid-friendly like Pokemon. It was really weird. But then again, Pokemon is also the series that got, like, a hentai artist to do an official comic series for it, so there's that. Anyway, one of the coolest parts about Frost Walrus' stage, besides the temperature, is the music. This is the only stage in the game that actually has two different tracks of music. One for when you're outside the base, and one for when you're inside the base. And honestly, it's a neat touch. I like it a lot. I like your funny words, Magic Man. Break things open. I think the Sega Saturn version also has some other changes to the game's music as well. Oh, right, there's the W tank. The weapon tank, which, appropriately enough, stores weapon energy. You can use it just like a sub-tank. Now see this bird? If you let that bird cast his ice spell, it will spell hell for you. That bird makes things a pain in the ass because he chills with an Arctic blast. So to kill him, you better move fast. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to pass. Shoot your shots, X. There we go. One more bird down. You gotta shoot the caster. Shoot them while they're in their casting animation. Basically, you've got to do what every boss in Final Fantasy XIV does to me when I decide to play anything other than Machinist, I guess. I have to stop calling it Machinist. I actually got into a conversation with somebody, and it is indeed pronounced Machinist and not Machinist. I did not realize that, but now I know. I think I might owe someone money. Regardless, though, let's get on to our next boss here. Frost Walrus. They sent a kid like you after me? I promise to end this quickly. Frost Walrus may look a little bit goofy, But this guy's a violent thug. After all, I was talking about how he killed a Blizzard Buffalo. But even in X4, his personality is that of, like, a violent roughneck. And he's in the Repliforce partly because he just wants to fight and bully people. However, no one really told him that he's kind of a joke. Even though he's one of the biggest bosses of the Mega Man X series, like, I'm trying to think of bosses that are bigger than Frost Walrus. Rainy Turtleoid from X6. And, Bamboo Pandemonium from X8, I want to say? I think I remember Bamboo Pandemonium being pretty big. A pretty big guy. But there aren't many. Walrus is definitely one of the biggest ones. But thankfully, he's also very easy as well, and that's why a lot of people start out with him. You got Frost Tower. Generates a huge ice block that acts as a shield, may also be used to trap enemies before dissipating. Frost Shield or Frost Tower isn't exactly all that useful, but it's kind of useful. It's kind of cool. With that, this episode went on for a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but we've gotten the intro stage and 2 Mavericks out of the way, and some sweet, delicious full-motion video. So how about I call the episode here, and in the next one, we're going to continue fighting more of these Mavericks. I'll see you guys later. This is Tails Flyraga signing out. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.